very shortly I'm going to invite some of our current authors that were sitting exactly where you were 4 months ago. And they now actually produced their books and are published authors. Alright, and so they will share their journey and the things that they went through, and I'm going to ask them a whole series of questions that I think that you would want to know while they're up on stage and get their answers for you. So this was about a couple that you're going to get to meet who was sitting here just like you a very short time ago. And this is what, they've had now 60 minutes to do a story on it, and Channel 7. This is the Channel 7.
Well, last year...
Hello, my name is Anthea, and this is my husband Peter, and you know our story now, so thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Monica, and I apologise a little bit, I'm just getting over a bit of a sickness, so I'm a little bit breathless. But I'm so excited to be here because 4 months ago I was sitting there, and my story is about overcoming adversity and being abandoned on the streets as a child, and raising myself for the next 10 months there and onward, and just turning all that around. And my book is about that your choices determine who you are, not your circumstances.
Hello guys, my name's Brett Thompson. I'm now the proud author of Client Rush, 37 Proven Marketing... Is this spelling mistake? No. But again, we were here 4 months ago and just had a concept, now it's here. First time I've seen this, is amazing. So 37 Proven Marketing Breakthroughs for attracting more clients fast, so very excited.
Hi everyone, my name is Pete Jensen, and my book's called Lessons in Happiness from the Third World, or subtitle is How the West Got So Depressed and What to Do About It. And in my professional job, before I was sitting in the room like the rest of you, just encountering depression and anxiety and stress, especially at the teenage level, but also in the workplace. And so the book's really a story that looks to answer the question about why those who've got the least often find it the easiest to be happy. And what have we lost in the West, and then how do we find that? So it's full of tips as well.
Questions on the chart, and you can pass it around to each of you. But one of the questions I want to ask is, I know it's early days for you, but now how has your life changed as an author already, and what differences have you noticed, now being an author, and how people treat you, and how business is doing for you? What's changed?
Nice.
Yeah, so go for it.
Well, things have changed for me already
Just
when
hold it up.
when I was writing the book. Just the people that I've had contact with. I was really fortunate to have Joe Vitale from The Secret write the foreword, and as a result also offered to help me promote it once it's out, which is very soon now, which is fantastic. And it's also helped me to personally just know that dreams can become a reality, and also in a very short period of time, when you've got the right support and you've make the right connections, it makes all the difference, and it becomes a reality really quickly.
It's been really bizarre coming in today and realising it's only been 4 months since we were sitting where you are sitting today. And I think for me, just a couple of things. The first thing is I was sitting there looking at Darren and going, all the stuff he was saying about your life will change and you'll meet people and you'll get a caravan to go around Australia and all that stuff. And I'm going, yeah, it sounds good, but for me, a couple of things have really happened. One is I found my own identity in the last 4 months. And it's always been out there, but by going through this process, I've discovered who I am. And the second thing is that, when you commit, that's when things change. There's a wonderful quote that talks about commitment, and things and opportunities come your way. And I've always been one of those who needs the parachute, and I kind of need the back end. And so I'd like to commit, and I've gone, full throttle with it. And just 3 things have happened that I could never have predicted. One is, you start talking about your book, obviously, you start networking and you meet people, and so I was offered a fellowship at the University of Sydney Graduate Business School in the field of business happiness. So that's just come through this week. And that's because I'm an author. So when Darren says it opens doors, it's just amazing what it does. The second is last Wednesday I met and worked with the United Nations Human Rights Commission, so I'm now part of that team in Melbourne. And the third thing was I've been writing a bit of a blog because I think it's important to put yourself out there, and I got a call this week. What day is it? Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, this week. From the CEO of a company in New Zealand who's created some desktop applications for the corporate world. She's established. She's in 14 countries, and I'm flying to Adelaide next weekend because she said I can white label all her stuff and use it for my own book. And that would never have happened if I wasn't an author. So it's really about the commitment part to the process.
Excellent.
Just very quickly, definitely opened the doors up to meeting people who you normally wouldn't have thought you were able to. But the key word is thought, you know, because you can, and just making contact. And I guess what it does, it gives you amazing confidence in yourself, your abilities, and self-esteem, everything. So that's a bit of a byproduct of getting the book done. But I know just the other week I put in a proposal because I help companies and business owners with their marketing and copywriting. And I put a proposal in for a project for about 20k against some of the biggest other competitors in the industry. And in my proposal I put their clients can get a copy of my book, and because these guys help other people get clients, and I basically said, you know, you'd be smart to go with me because I kind of wrote the book on it, you know, about getting clients. So anyway, I got that proposal, and that was the only difference was because I was the author. And
so you picked up a $20,000 project?
Correct. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Give us
that's right.
Not bad return. So straight off. So Anthony and Peter, now I know you have had some amazing things happen for you, and I'd love for you to share about, you know, these guys came to me as part of the program and asked about, hey, how could we get a sponsorship deal, you know, for a caravan? And you've seen in the video or the TV show that they were hopping in a new caravan. They were able to secure, because they're authors and now somebody credible and everything else, a $120,000 caravan. All right, so, and plus, tell us about, you know, what happened just recently in Thailand and places like that. Yeah. And what it's meant for you, this whole journey.
First off, whatever Darren talks about, just believe him. That's it. Don't question the man. We've just come back from Thailand, and we've taken on board that your book becomes your business card. So in Phuket, there's a theme park called Fantasy, and it's been open for 11 years, 7 days a week, 3,500 people per night going to the show, which is a Las Vegas show. So as we're walking through these canyons into the auditorium, we see all these famous people up on the wall. Nelson Mandela, you know, movie stars, you name it. I said to Anthea, we should be up there. Anthea says, do you think so? I said, yeah. So after the show, we found the park manager. And they said, who are you? And I said, Anthea's the Australia's oldest first-time mum. And they said, well, can you send us details? So we have a list of all the links to all the newspapers we've been in around the world, and all the 60 Minutes and Channel 7. So in about 2 months' time, we are going to be in the Hall of Fame in Fantasy Phuket.
Alongside Nelson Mandela and other world dignitaries. All because they're authors. But what else happened? Because when you got picked up from the airport, tell the story. These are the things that happened very quickly, as I said.
Unbeknownst to Anthea, we decided to fly into Chiang Mai 3 days early, and we had to book 3 more nights at the Shangri-La Hotel. So unbeknownst to Anthea, as I'm doing the bookings, in the little opt-in box, I wrote who she was. Author, famous, from Oz. And when we get to the airport, there's a limo, there's ice water, there's ice towels in the car, in the limo. And Anthea's saying to me, are you sure we should be in here? When we got to the hotel, 4 people came out to greet us, including the manager of the hotel. And of course, Anthea's saying, why are they here? And I said, because I said you were famous.
Because when you're an author, you get treated differently. I can tell you now, when you write, if you go through customs and you're going out of the country or coming into the country and you write on the thing, you know, when it says what's your occupation, when you're filling in the customs thing, you write author, you get straight through. So it's like a Aussie pass. So, all right, so it makes a huge difference. You get treated differently as an author. So, and as these guys can testify, you know, the sponsorship deals, the things that have happened, and you know, TV, radio, you've had a lot. So tell us, share some of your stories.
Firstly, I'd like to say well done, Pete. This is the first time he's ever been able to speak publicly.
Oh.
So that's really good achievement. Well done. Yeah, we have had some amazing things happen, but I think probably the most profound thing that has happened to us through meeting Darren and through participating from where you are now is that we learnt that our book just becomes a calling card, as Darren puts it. I'm not sure how much he's spoken yet about the back end of your business.
No, it's tomorrow.
But that is something that you really need to get your head around. When we came here, we were coming to publish a book. And from my point of view, if I'd got my book written and printed, and it's the first time I've seen it just now, that was the goal. But what you will learn tomorrow is that that is just a tiny, tiny little bit of what can happen. And Darren has spoken about the caravan. Yes, we had been working on a deal with a company for quite a while. Their name is Elite. We've got to give them a plug when we get a chance now because they've given us this beautiful van. It's a company called Elite and they're here in Melbourne. And they are a family-based business that build extraordinarily gorgeous caravans. And my husband has arranged for us to pick up our caravan on our second wedding anniversary, being the romantic thing that he is. And that deal was able to be closed because of some of the help that Darren was able to give us. And it was about him being able to, I guess, give us an understanding of what our worth had become. So yes, you can talk about cocktails in the back of limousines, which is all a bit of a laugh when it happens for the first time, but there is seriously a bigger picture. This week we've been really fortunate, haven't had a chance to tell you this.
Okay.
There's a company called More Life on the Gold Coast, and they are one of the major nutritional manufacturing companies in Australia. They have a really good name, and all the major health food shops all throughout the country stock their produce. And as of this week, we've negotiated that for our back end of our business, on our website, we are going to be able to stock all of their products, and they want to put, we haven't decided whether it'll be a photo or a what yet, but something on their label of their newest and what they believe is going to be their best and most exciting product ever, which I can't talk about because it's not going to be announced till the end of the month. But they have given us unlimited resources. We can use their dietitian, we can use their nutritionalist, anybody we want in the support of our second book, which is the, I guess, nuts and bolts of how we came to find ourselves expecting our little son. So
fantastic.
That's
Give him a hand. That's awesome. I buy their product, so I'm coming to see you. I buy all their company and it goes to various charities.
Absolutely.
So we had some last night.
So I guess the message, if there's any from Peter and I today, is really take on board what you learn tomorrow. It will seem probably a bit foreign. It was totally foreign to us, but it made us go away and really, we knew we wanted to make a change in our life. We knew we wanted to not do our traditional work. I was a real estate agent and Pete was a developer. And to have a baby at our age is pretty special. And to do the jobs we used to do, we'd never get to spend any time with Nick. So we really wanted to make a transition into doing different things that we could maximise our time with him. And what we learned from Darren on that third day has really given us, I guess, the courage for want of a better word, to work out how to do that. So, good luck.
At the time, and I really do appreciate and acknowledge all of you for coming here of your own accord and sharing with these guys and giving back, because one of the biggest things for me, as you know, as I said when you were all sitting there, is to try and get you guys to believe in you. See, I know that every single one of you could be a best-selling author, and that we could turn whatever life challenges you've got into a book or a story or something you're passionate about and make it work. But the biggest challenge I have is convincing you of that. And you know, so I asked these people if they'd give up their time, because they've been sitting there, and it's about giving you the tools and the self-belief, because one of the biggest gifts I can give you is actually learning to love yourself and having that self-love that these guys now have with themselves, and they've grown and they've attracted huge things into their life because that's the change. You get that when you become an author. You get treated differently. And there is a difference, BP. You know, when you become a celebrity, different things happen to you. You get bigger opportunities. You get to make a bigger difference in the world, like these guys are now.